The second prison bid, I got picked up by the feds. I got sentenced to 192 months. And that's when it was a real wake-up call. Because like I said, I had stopped selling drugs in '09. I got picked up in 2011. So when I got picked up in 2011, I thought it was a real joke because I won't sell no drug. But these guys that had got picked up in '09, some of the same guys that had something to do with the robbery at my mom's house is the guy that told about that snitched on me and put me in a conspiracy. And when I went to prison, that's when God really started working on me.
T. Clark, my G, man. We in Tampa right now on a rooftop overlooking the city. We're shooting your official visualizer for Made at Home, bro. So first of all, man, welcome to the Let Me Talk, Bro podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go
yes,
ahead
sir.
and introduce yourself, man, and let's go ahead and start, man, with your story, bro. Just start sharing about your childhood, your upbringing, let everybody know who you are.
Yeah, T. Clark, just living down here in Tampa, Florida. When I got out of prison from doing 11 years, and kind of the day we doing my first video shoot for Made at Home, and my saying, growing up, man, I had a rough life, seeing people in the street, seeing my dad, dabble in the street, and kind of when I grew up and got a little older, I started kind of like following that footsteps and just trying to make money, man, that help support my mom and my dad. So that's kind of how I got into the hustling part of the streets, and started making a lot of money, and kind of like started taking off, and there wasn't no stopping because like I felt like I couldn't be stopped at the time when I was selling drugs or whatever. And until kind of like when I started getting in trouble with the law, that kind of like made me feel like I want unstoppable. But kind of like when I went to prison on the 11-year bid, that's when God started working on me, and I like kind of seen it was a better way out through Christ. So that's why I started giving my life, giving him the time, giving him the honor, giving him the glory of trying to change my life and doing other things instead of thinking I can get away with, getting in trouble, like thinking I can get away with anything. So that's when I kind of like gave my life to God, Christ, and when I got out, that's what I said I was gonna do. I was gonna try to get with some guys or whatever, try to find some people where I can, go out and do other things instead of trying to go out to the club. Why not go into a prison where I can talk to the guys that's locked up, and try to tell them things that can help them out when they get out. Because like I said, man, through Christ and God, man, that's what got me where I'm at now, of being blessed and doing things that I'm doing, being able to get out with my CDL, work a real job, drive trucks, just basically, living the right way, man. It's a change, man, from when before I got locked up. It's way different, man. Better vibes, safer. I don't have to worry about, looking on my back. I don't got to worry about who gonna kick my door in. I don't got to worry about none of that. So it's a better vibe, man.
That's real. For the people who don't know the details of your story, you went to prison twice, correct? And
yes, sir.
When did you go to prison your first time? How long was it for?
My first time I went to prison, I was like 26, 27. I went for 6 months. Well, I had 6 months. I did 120 days off them 6 months. So, man, when I went in for them 120 days, it was like, when I get back out, I'm gonna turn up. So it won't, I guess I didn't even take that as a real lesson, or take the lesson what God was probably trying to show me back then, that that the street life wasn't what it was.
And now prison bid was behind like dope charges or sales?
Yeah, it was selling drugs. That was my first bust where I was staying with my baby mama. That was my first bust that I got busted with my baby mama brother, and that was the first time I ever got busted for crack cocaine. And I got put on 3-year probation. I violated, and I went to prison for like 120 days.
Okay, something you always share when you go into prisons is about a situation to where you almost lost your life, and that's ultimately what God really began to use to draw you unto himself. You mind not sharing that?
Yeah, when in 2008, my mom's door got kicked in. Some guys had been following me, and the door got kicked in. I got home invaded. They beat me for like 3 hours, asked me where the dope and the money at, and just they robbed me. They took my jewelry, and back then, I didn't keep nothing in the house, so they found a little bit of money and a little bit of weed, but it won't nothing like to take somebody's life over. But like I felt like that was my wake up call right there to leave them streets alone. My mom got tied up, like I was hard tied. My mom was tied. You know, like I said, they beat me for like 3 hours, and to hear somebody ask my mom what the drugs and money is, she says she don't know nothing, she don't know what's going on, and to hear somebody say she ready to die, that was definitely a life changing experiment, and something that stuck with me to say, you know, I can't put people in harm's way like this for something I'm doing.
That's real, bro. So what happened with the second prison bid? How much time were you sentenced to? What happened? And then like start sharing about like what God was doing in your life during that bid.
The second prison bid, I got picked up by the feds. I got sentenced to 192 months. And that's when it was a real wake-up call. Because like I said, I had stopped selling drugs in 2009. I got picked up in 2011. So when I got picked up in 2011, I thought it was a real joke because I won't sell no drug. But these guys that had got picked up in 2009, some of the same guys that had something to do with the robbery at my mom's house, is the guys that told about that snitched on me and put me in a conspiracy. And when I went to prison, that's when God really started working on me. You know, like I said, I was mad at first. I was mad for about the first 5 years when I did get locked up. But when I started taking accountability, that's when God started working on me. To say, you know, I stopped saying somebody told on me. I started saying if I wouldn't have been selling drugs, I sold some drugs, that's what I'm locked up for, instead of saying somebody told on me.
That's real. How much time did they sentence you to?
They sentenced me to 192 months, which is 16 years.
And what were you doing when you were incarcerated? You always share about how you had the opportunity to go speak and for the Lord to use you while you were incarcerated. What was that?
Yeah, when I was incarcerated, I was at a camp, and I was in this program where they was taking like 7 guys out, 5 or 6 guys to 7 guys. It will always be they'll pick the 5 or 6 guys to take out with them to go out and talk to the kids that was getting in trouble, that was violating curfew, getting in trouble, and the judge was sentencing them to come and hear us speak as coming from prison. So I was very excited about going out. We was going out like every 60 days. We'll go out, we'll speak to the kids, and their moms would be in there with them, man. And it was fit, and that was the story I used to share with them of how I was doing something behind my mom back, and like she could have lost her life because I was doing something behind her back. So by me selling drugs behind her back, I was sharing that story to the kids, man, and they was like, kind of like couldn't believe it. You know, even their moms was like, man, this is something you can do behind your mom back could end up causing them their life, somebody you care for.
That's real, bro. So how has the transition been since you've been out? Like, how was it getting out of prison after doing how many years? 11?
11 years.
All right, so how was that transition home, bro? What's God been doing in your life since your release? What have been some not only high moments, but some challenges as well, like navigating back in society?
Yeah, I say my low moments, man, just when I came home, you know, I was with this girl that I came home to be with, and it didn't work out. And I was trying to force it to work out, but you know, God had a plan, man. It wasn't what God had in my plan to be, you know, in that relationship or whatever. So I end that relationship the best way. I prayed on it, and you know, it just didn't work out. No, I don't got no hard feelings about it. It's just like when God is giving you the vision, you got to follow that vision. You can't put something in the plan that's not in the plan. So the high moments, I would say, just being able to get out here. I got my CDL before I got out in the feds, to be able to, you know, work a good job, man, make good money, good living money off of, man, the right way. It's a good feeling, man, that, you know, to go to work every day, to be known like, oh, he's gonna be here, to be dependable, man, be on time, you know, work, you know, and for them supervisors and the boss, man, to, you know, depend on you and smile when they know you're gonna be at work, man. That's a good feeling from back when I would want dependable. You know, like that's a great feeling, man. When I used to be sleep all day, my mom go to work. still in the house, sleep when she get off work. So, just the feeling to change that whole lifestyle of thinking, that the world revolve around you. The world don't revolve around me.
That's real, bro. So what about your walk following Jesus, now out here in society, man? What's been different? What's been what's God been doing in your life when it comes to your walk with Jesus, your intimacy with him, ministry, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he been opening up doors, man. He been opening up doors for me to, back in these prisons, I met my brother E.I. the King, and basically like he, helped me get on his platform, or even signing me to Block Hustle, where I can get back into doing music, but music the right way. Talk about the struggle, talk about how God is using me, talk about how God is working in my life, and how he continue to keep blessing me and opening up doors. And that's a blessing, man, to be able to be around guys that, that fully, obedient to God, man. That's what it's all about. And, I feel like the guys that I'm around, man, from E.I. the King, Big Lou, King James, man, we walking this journey, man, and we sharing the gospel, man. We sharing it with the brothers that we know need that gospel. They need to see us, with the tattoo, with everything that, that we thought the street life was about, man. It was all a game, man. It wasn't real. It's an illusion. So, just to be able to share that, to let the guys know, man, it's a better way, man. God is the way, man.
That's real, bro. So how did you and I connect? How did we meet, and how did you get involved in Block Hustle and Block Hustle Entertainment?
Well, I had met my producer. I had met him at a Sean. I had met him at an event, and he said he was a producer. He did music, and I started witnessing and letting him know what I was doing, like how long I had been out of prison, whatever. And he was like, "Man, I got a brother I want to introduce you to." And he introduced me to E.I., and man, it was a long story short, man. It was all history after that, man. We connected just like brothers, man. We've been kicking it ever since, man. Like brothers, man.
That's real, bro. So how was it going back into your prison, going into a prison the first time, bro, doing ministry?
The first time I went back in, man, it was crazy, man. Like the first time I went back in, we had an event on the yard, on the rec yard, man. It was amazing. But just to get in there and see them guys come out to hear us, and to even when they're shaking our hands and, telling us they appreciate us coming back in, because I hadn't been out at that time. I hadn't been out like a year and a half, and to have that feeling of, going back in to witness to these guys and letting them know how God is using me in here, out here in the streets, or come back in and let them know like how blessed I am by keep being obedient to God, man. It was amazing. And like I said, the first time I went back in, I had a real moment where tears was coming out of my face, because I seen my head on these guys' head, as it was like I couldn't believe it. Like I seen my face on their face, because I had just been right there where they was, man. And these guys had plenty of time, 40 years, 30 years, and to hear them saying all this time they got. And I done been there. I done been on that side, man.
That's real, bro. What about the street outreach events, man?
The street outreach events, man, they be great, man. Like to get out, give out food, pray for the people out in these areas, like in these trenches, man. We get out there in the trenches with them. We pray for them. We give them food. It's been great, man. I done did like 3 of them, even to perform. On one of them we did. They've been great, man. Even if we went to Miami, and man, that was great, man. We went to Miami. That was a good feeling, to connect with some other guys down there in Miami. It was a good feeling, man.
That's fire, bro. So them boys and the women as well, the men and women who are still incarcerated right now, bro, whether they been sentenced to life, got a lot of time, or they're on the cusp of coming home, what would be your message to those who are still incarcerated, man?
My message would be, man, find time. Instead of doing other things, give God some of that time. Find balance, man. Give God some of that time, because he's right there waiting. He sat you down for a reason. And the reason is to get closer to him.
That's real, bro. Anything else you want to share?
I want to share, man. Only thing I want to share right now is to let the guys know that, like I say, God is the way, man. Accept him. He's there, waiting.
And man, bro, where can the people find you at, dog?
They can find me. They can hit me up on my Instagram, tclark704. They can hit me on my YouTube channel, tclark, same thing, tclark704, and they can find me on Travis Clark on my Facebook.
There you go. What you got coming, bro?
And I got that video coming, and I got another single coming with my man Tom G, one of the Tampa legends down here. So we working on something big. I got that next single coming with him. I got my video coming up, Made at Home. It'll be out soon. That's what I'm working on right now.
There you go, bro. It's a wrap.